Well, welcome back to Life on Cars, guys, and a bit of a special episode today. It's an episode where I'm going to go around to a friend's house. His name's John, and I recently met him in the Owners Club for the Rolls-Royce Enthusiasts Club, and he's invited me around his house to take a look at a couple of really special Rolls-Royces that he owns. So come on, let's get round to John's and see what he's got. Let's go. Right, I'm here with John, who I've only met a couple of weeks ago when I joined the Rolls-Royce Enthusiast Club. And John has invited me over to his man cave, his garage, and he's an owner of two beautiful Rolls-Royces. And he's going to show me around these cars today, and who knows, we might, if I can sweet talk him, we might even, because it's a dry day. It's dry.
It is dry, yes, I agree.
So, you know, I've never been in a pre-war car before, so you never know, I might get a run out as well. So I'm quite excited. So let's get on with it.
We'll wait and see.
Right, John, let's talk about this incredible car. What is it? Tell me about it.
It's 1934, 2025.
So just pause for a minute, because newbies like me, so 2025, 25 horsepower,
Yeah,
but it's more about the torque on this, isn't
yeah.
it?
Well, the original cars were 20 horsepower,
Right.
and then they increased the size of the engine to 25. So it became a 2025. And then in 1935, it became a 25-30. So they increased it again. This is 3.6.
Straight six.
Straight six. I think the 20 horsepowers were 3.1 and the 25-30 became was 3.9 or nearly 4 litre. I'm not too sure. But basically the chassis were all virtually the same. The 2025s, it was just coach builders put bigger bodies on, so they needed to increase the engine size basically.
So this was of the period where Rolls-Royce made the chassis and running gear,
And the bodies were built by coach
and
builders.
the bodies were built
Yeah.
by coach builders, of which at the time in England there was a lot.
There was before the war, yep. This one's a Hooper, based in London, which a lot of them were.
And is it on the original body still?
Yes,
Wow.
it's all. The car is all original, apart from a few little bits, like these lights weren't original. Originally, they probably had a light in there, but it was an extra. It may not have done, because this has actually dipping headlights on it. The interior.
I'm just blown away by the engineering and the way these cars look at the front with the headlights and everything. It's just, I mean, it's an era that's gone and we'll never see again, and we must preserve these cars. I mean, look at this.
Well, the car was bought by a Mr. Davis for his wife, Mrs. Davis, back in 1934. They owned a house in London, in Knightsbridge I think it was, and they also had a house on an estate in Jersey. They used to use the car to travel to and from London to Jersey, obviously using a ferry. And during the war, the car was in Jersey when the Germans invaded. It was hidden in one of the buildings on the estate from the Germans, who never found it. And after the end of the Second World War, it was recommissioned and again used to travel between Jersey and London. And allegedly the Queen Mother's been in the car.
Really?
The people who I bought it from were invited to the original owners, the daughter, then Dorothy McKinnon, And while they were having a cup of coffee, she said, "Do have a chocolate with your coffee. These were a present from Princess Margaret." So I think the family may have had royal connections, but I have no photographic evidence of it, but it's a nice little story. But basically the car was hidden in a hay barn during the war and then recommissioned, and it's here is today. That's it. Give it a good slam.
And how long have you had it?
I've had it 21 years now, coming up 22 years. And the previous owner I brought it from, he'd had it 22 years. It spent a lot of time with the Davis family. And then the history goes a little bit awry in the late 50s, early 60s. And judging by some of the paperwork I've got, I think the car was subject to probate. And it did end up in Luxembourg. And that's where the previous owner bought it from, which was, I think, 1982, I think he bought it. And I bought it in 2003 from him. So, round about there, I think that they were roughly the dates. So, yeah, if only you could speak.
The things it's seen, I mean, what condition was it in then when you got it?
Virtually like
it's
this.
stunning now.
Virtually the same as this. It's just keeping it clean, keeping it tidy, looking after it.
I mean, so at some point it has been restored.
Oh, it's been repainted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the actual paint was done, I think, in the mid-80s, and it's actually a VW blue. Now, if you just open that passenger door there,
This one. Oh,
this one, yeah, and just have a look down the side, that is the original colour. That's not been repainted. So they've got a close match.
Yeah.
And I've actually got the tin of the paint up there, I think.
I found the plate for the coach building.
Yeah,
Coach.
yeah. Now then, not that you should need them when you're driving a Rolls-Royce.
That's it, they're just
Do you want a bigger light?
motor body builders and coach builders to His Majesty the King, Her Majesty the Queen, HRH the Princess of Wales, HRH the Princess Royal, and HRH the Duke of Connaught. That's lovely, that, isn't it?
Being royal appointments, yeah. We'll start her up.
You going to start?
I'll start it. Hopefully she'll go up. So the first thing you've got to do is turn the petrol on. So first thing to do is turn the petrol on. What you've got is underneath on the firewall is you've got the fuel switch there. Now that can, there's a button you press, you can go into your reserve tank or your main tank. So it's on the main tank at the moment. And you just turn it like that. That puts the fuel on. So that's the fuel on now.
Oh yeah, I see it, yeah.
So we now put handbrake on, take it out the gear, right? So that's it, out the gear. So now we have to set up on the steering wheel. So you've got advance and retard, hand throttle, and mixture. Right. So first thing, put a bit of throttle on, put the mixture screw across to strong, retard, turn on the ignition. You can see there we've got petrol. This is the hand choke. I always put the clutch in and press the starter.
First click.
Not bad considering it hasn't run for about 6 weeks. And then once the engine's running, advance it up to about 3/4 of the way up, then just release the air, a bit more throttle, clutch out, and then it'll just start to tick over.
It's ticking over incredibly smoothly.
Yeah. Then I'll just reduce the weakness down, just weaken it off a bit.
Dashboard's beautiful.
And one thing to check is just make sure you've got oil pressure. So a good oil pressure there, around about 30 pounds. So that's good oil pressure. Unfortunately the clock stopped because it's clockwork. You have got to wind it up.
Alright.
Then you've got your temperature gauge here, which is a capillary, and this is your ammeter. Now at the moment it's showing a slight discharge, but once the engine warms up can show you that work because there's a switch on the dashboard which you can switch to a summer or winter setting, and what it does, it just switches more current to go to your battery. But once the engine's warm, you need a few revs on for that. But going back to the lights,
Yeah.
lights, there's your headlights.
Not bad.
You want to try them in the dark. And then, I don't know whether or not this is original, but it has got a dip switch on the floor, like we used to have in the old days. There we go, main beam.
Wow. It's quite advanced, isn't it?
Yeah. As I say, I don't know if that's original. May have been modified.
I'm blown away about how, from a cold start there, that it's fired up. It's perfectly fine.
So now she's running. We'll go through the engine bits.
I see that there when you turn the little lady, something just comes.
Correct. There's not many, you don't see that. I've got a little dink in there. If people forget. And there she is.
Look at that. What's that height in that there? About 4, 5.
I have no idea. There's no. You don't have. I can get it to idle a lot slower than that.
Can you?
Yeah. Wait till it warms up. I'll just turn the lights off. Oh. Caught the off switch. Now then, as you see on the steering wheel where you've got your controls for your advance and retard, mixture and hand throttle. If you now go back to the distributor, and you can see how we'll retard the engine and you'll hear it change. See?
It moves the distributor.
Now can you see the engine has changed?
Oh, like those little levers.
That's right, you see the levers?
Yeah.
Right. Now that all comes right down the centre of the steering wheel and out the bottom and across and up race the levers. Show it again. Look at the bottom of the steering wheel. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so and then it goes up
Yeah,
and across
that's it.
and moves the distributor.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And also you've got your mixture screw, which if you look at the carburettor, see the,
Oh yeah.
now that's gone to weak. And that's gone to strong. Again down the centre of the steering wheel.
Isn't it beautifully engineered?
Yep, that's it. And the other one, which is the hand throttle, which you can't really see that much of. You can see the lever moving at the bottom there, going up to the accelerator.
Oh, yeah.
Now as the car starts to warm up, you need the thermostat to come in. So what happens is, if you notice, the radiator grille at the moment is closed.
Oh yeah, the
And what
flaps
happens is-
are closed.
And what happens is, they will start to
They'll
open.
start to open.
And what there is a calistat in the top of the radiator here, so that starts to warm up,
Yeah.
which I can show you that in a minute. On the other side, you'll find that they start to open up, and that's how you control the engine temperature. And that's why you see Rolls-Royces have always got that grille, because that's the trademark of Rolls-Royce. So in the new cars, which
It's just
is-
locked.
yeah, that's why it was done like that.
What's that?
That's a klaxon.
Oh, is that the horn?
Are you ready?
Yeah, go on then.
1, 2, 3.
Whoa, that's loud.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I've always been a bit confused by all the levers.
The levers, yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you, and I think I've already kind of sussed it out. It is a normal 3-position pedal, yes? Or not?
Yes, yeah.
So it's accelerator right,
Yeah,
brake
in the middle, clutch, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've always wondered if that was the case.
yeah. Yeah, it's just standard.
And then that's the gear stick.
Gear lever, and the other one's the handbrake.
So looking down there, you've got
First, second, third and fourth, and reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reverse 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's
And
only,
that's the brake.
that's the handbrake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which very often you can use as well, which I do, in just during normal driving.
All right.
Because it's a mechanical servo,
Yeah.
and it's cable brakes. And they were probably good in 1934, but in 2024, sometimes you need to stop a bit quicker, so I just use the handbrake as well, which it's designed to be done. But the seat will go further back for you, for a taller person.
Bottom closed. Open. So, is this just for starting then, the reason it's got a throttle on here, as well as a pedal?
Yeah, well, you can, yeah, normally,
So you can
yes,
set,
if
you
you-
can set it and take your
if
foot
you
off.
pull that down now, what's the temperature now? It's about 50 degrees, is it? It's the one at the left-hand side
It's
next.
coming up just under 50.
Right, if you just drop that right down.
Right down.
Yeah, go, just pull it right down, that's it. Go on. Right down the bottom.
No, I don't want to. You have to
Yeah, just push it forward. That's it.
All right.
There you go. See, the engine's getting warm now.
Yeah, so it's just idling.
Just idling there.
But it idles quite slow, doesn't it?
Yeah. It'll,
So you can.
it will idle slower as well once it gets warmed right up, temperature.
So I could set that
Yeah.
and just cruise with
You
it.
could if you wanted to, yeah.
Yeah.
I must be honest, I don't bother, I just,
It's the same throttle.
yeah. Yep.
It's beautiful. And then obviously the carbs, so it's basically your choke.
Choke,
Yeah?
yep. Well, it's your mixture screw.
Yeah.
So it sets
Oh,
it either
mixed,
strong, yeah. So what I tend to
Then
do
you
with,
explain this when
Yeah.
we were under there. This is moving your distributor.
that's
yeah?
that's your advance and retard. So once it's set, which is, that's about the right position for just normal motor, you don't need to bother that anymore. It's
So
just,
for starting, did you
it's
have
fully
that on
fully retarded.
late?
Yeah, put it on late.
Obviously, strong mixture.
Yeah,
Throttle, where did you have
about 50% on the throttle.
Halfway.
Yeah, yeah.
fuel tap?
Fuel tap one first. The reason it sometimes takes a bit to start if it's been stood is because the petrol's evaporated and it's not a pump, it's an auto vac, which we'll have a look at in a minute. Which every now and then you can hear a psst. Well, that's the vacuum being released as it's pulling the petrol through. So it's actually a gravity feed into the carburettor. That's it, go on.
Wonderful. It's wonderful.
Go on, blip it. There you go. Right, but what you do is you push it and it unlatches it. There you go.
Oh, so it does have electric wipers.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't use it very often because I try not to take it out
In a way.
in the wet. So they tend to stay down there. Radiator grill is now starting to open up.
Started to open,
Yeah. I'm going to shut this side down.
She's warming up.
That's it. Now we'll just open the other side up. And you can see inlet exhaust manifold. There you go. So you've got magneto, dynamo, auto vac. This is what's pulling the petrol through. and that's what they call.
Oh, this here.
Yeah, and that's what they call the one-shot lube oil system.
Right.
And what it is, there's a pedal underneath on the passenger side that operates that, and it puts oil to all the moving parts underneath. That's why when you park a 2025 up, you'll always have oily marks, because it lubricates all the moving parts underneath. Start the motor down there, and that's the starter relay. Now the idea being, if you want to run on a magneto, is you press the button there, connects it to the back of the dynamo to drive the magneto, then you take that lead, is housed by the distributor, you take it out and put it into the distributor, and that's it. But I've never tried it, so I don't know whether or not it actually works. And then for your oil level, you can see in the sump there's actually a gauge, so when you look down there, you probably won't be able to see without the light on. You can see the gauge there.
Oh, yeah.
So you can actually see, yeah, there's a gauge, and as you can see, that's the oil filling point. That's it.
That's a super low idle now.
That's it, yeah. Tweaking it right off.
That must be about 300.
I don't know how many revs it is.
That must be about maybe 400.
Should get
500 RPM max. That. It's so quiet as well.
the road, right? That's what they were built for.
Yeah.
Oh, a couple of times people said, "Is it running?" Yeah, of course it is.
Have a look around the back.
Yeah. Just switch it off. So this is classed as a sports saloon.
Yeah.
Hence, it's 4 seats, no division. And if you're going away on your holidays somewhere, what you would do is have a special key to open the boot, and that's the key for the boot. This obviously filler cap.
Yeah.
So you open your boot like that. So don't look at the rubbish that's in the back. This pulls down. This opens up. This opens up. You put that back down. You put that there, put there. And that's where your trunk sits on the back. And the trunk's actually up there. The carriage wrapped
So
up.
you could put right, so you could actually put an extra luggage.
Yeah, so you've got an extra luggage point on it. And when you say about cars of today, hatchbacks,
Yeah.
well, this one here in 1934 is already a hatchback.
No way, it's not got through loading.
Certainly has. So you think it's a new thing?
It's got through
That's
loading.
it. That's it. Not an awful lot of room, but it's not a new idea.
A folding down back seat.
Yep.
In 1934.
Yeah.
Would you believe it? So, John, you could do your tip run in this car if you wanted to.
Oh, no problem at all, yeah. I might get a few funny looks from the lads at the council.
Yeah, you might.
The limousines are built on the same chassis, but they're a lot longer. Yeah. And they come down at the back. They tend to be the earlier ones, whereas the later ones, the one you were talking, Peter, you were talking to, his is a Park Ward limousine, which is 1936. They tend to be more of a swept back. Well, the D-backs, they didn't really have anywhere to put a boot. So that's why they always used to have a trunk.
Yeah.
Because of where the D-back was shaped. Yeah. So this was just really an extension of for a trunk. I got to just get them seats back in. And then this particular model, the customer, when they ordered it, what she wanted a table and somewhere to keep a writing paper. So this one has a paper of the day, 1934, and that's just another thing for the... But he's got a wallet and a table, not 2 tables or 2 wallets. Then each of the doors have little storage compartments in it. Then you've got your vanity lights in the back, which they're operated from the dashboard. And put them on.
I've noticed the way that table folds is exactly the same as it folds on your...
On the other one, yeah, the mechanism for it.
And it's the same as
the
folding tables right up until to the 1990s, isn't it? And onwards.
That's it. There you go. There your lights on in the back.
Yeah.
And the other thing they've also got is reversing lights as well, which has got a red light on there. That's the reversing lights on the back. So you've got indicators, right? So you've got flashy, which are an addition, and you also have
semaphores. You have to give it a bit of a bang.
Yeah, once it's gone, it's all right. The other side's usually okay. There you go. The other one comes out right, this side sticks. But once it's gone...
It's working now, yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been originally on semaphore.
Yes.
Somebody's added the flashy relay.
The flashy ones have been added. You know it's a 1934 Hooper. They're only fitted in 1934. Art Deco style, like the style of them.
Art Deco,
yeah.
And that's a Hooper.
And
trademark,
the Hooper trademark, yeah. They were patented by Hooper. They're quite rare. You don't see many of them.
It's very Art Deco.
Yeah. That's it. Unfortunate things should happen, and you fail to proceed, and you needed some tools. What you do is you get your tools out of your toolkit. Underneath the seat. Now unfortunately I don't have a full set. Right.
Look at that.
So you've got those there. Back in there. Now let's just keep towels underneath because you never know. And also, I mean they're not the proper tools. But I keep them because the points are a bit awkward to change, so I always got a spare set of points. Yeah, there's the other tools.
Wow.
And then, not only that...
is this where the jack is?
No, no jack.
Right.
You've just got a handle. Because what you've got is called a DWS jacking system.
This lowers down underneath.
The jacks are already on the car. So what you do is you take this out of here. This is the handle.
Oh my God.
Spare bulbs.
You've got spare bulbs?
Yeah. This is what they used to do with them.
Gosh,
come on. There you go. So,
look at that.
there you go.
Wow. The original holder for the bulbs.
Yep. Yeah, spare bulbs. Put that on there. These are just bits and bobs I keep. You never know. Right. And you take that out of there like that. Okay. Now if you need to take the wheels off, which you will do if you're going to change the tyre, you also need a toilet. Bit of tape. Well, you never know, do you? You always carry stuff. But that is for taking your wheels off.
Oh, that's for the wheel nuts.
Yeah, so what you do with this is you come up to here, obviously jack the car up first, and that...
Just one single nut in the middle, isn't it?
That's it. And that sits on,
Look at that tool.
on there like that.
Well,
You screw that in,
yeah.
that takes the locking mechanism off, you can see it moving in.
Right, I
Yeah.
see.
And then you just turn it to get it off.
Right, so...
And I've seen people belt these on. You don't need to, you just need to nip them, and then it'll lock. And when you take that back out, that's it, it locks. And then you take that off like that. And there you go. So that's how you would take the wheel off.
Did they use opposite thread on this side? Like they do on this?
Do you know how much sure?
Well, we don't need to test it.
Do you know how much sure?
They probably should, you know.
They might do, yeah. They might do.
So yeah, it's the jacks that are built in and wind down from underneath, yeah.
And that's if you want to start it manually.
Oh, the cranking handle.
Yeah. I don't know if you'll have a go at trying to start it. You can if you want. I have actually done it. Yeah.
I need my thumbs this.
Yeah, well, that's something you've got to be careful with. Yeah. I'll just where to put the key for that. What you do is I don't know if I can get the front. If you look down underneath the front, you can see there's the jack.
Oh, this here?
Yep.
So you put your bar in there. Alright, alright. It's a scissor jack coming down.
And it is. Now it's known as, it's a DWS jacking system. Right,
and that's going to lift both front wheels, isn't it?
And it lifts the front up completely. Now on the back, you've got one on either side. So there's 3 jacks, all operate the same way. So there we go.
I never knew that.
And that's it. And then you just wind it like that.
Yeah, it's starting to bring it up now, isn't it?
Right, not the easiest thing to do. But that's it. It's a lot easier with a trolley jack. But there you go. You can see how it goes. So then when you're finished, you obviously just wind it the opposite way. So once you take the weight off, they've made it a bit easier to use by putting a handle nearer so you can turn it faster. And that's it.
Unbelievable. They really did think of everything, didn't they, on the...
It's just like a modern day scissor jack really, but...
Yeah, I know, but the way it's built in and everything. This is why these cars sold worldwide, and they were used in India, and they went across deserts, and they went on mega trips, didn't they?
Yep, that's right. And that's it. And that just pulled off there, and you put it away. No power steering at all, unfortunately. Hey there.
It's quite a dull day today, but the rain's held off. Otherwise, we wouldn't be bringing this out.
The roads are nice and dry, that's the main thing. We're going this way for one particular reason. Because the way we're going to come back, there's still water on the other side of the road. So this is why I'm going this way. There we go. That's it. As you can see, it's not particularly quick.
No, but it goes nicely, doesn't it?
Well, you've just got to treat her with a bit of respect. She is 90.
90. Wow.
And that's it. So now we can just sit and have a little ponder as we go out on a Sunday afternoon.
Speedo's working.
The only thing you've got to keep your eye open for is any potholes.
Must take a bit of getting used to driving a car like this.
They're not the easiest of cars to drive.
Yeah.
They're not quick, but bearing in mind, considering it's 90-year-old.
How much does this weigh then? Any idea?
Just under 2 ton, I think.
Yeah. for her age, she's riding over those little bumps, okay?
Oh yes. The thing is, you'll find she does have a few rattles. Bearing in mind it's an ash frame.
Yeah.
So again, how old's the wood? The wood's probably somewhere in the region of 130, 140 year old. When the tree was chopped down, it'll probably have been 50 or 60. So you got to remember that the whole frame is made out of ash and then cladded with aluminium. So that's it. As you can see, I'm taking these bends, plenty of torque, no need to change gear.
What gear are you in there?
Top gear.
Are you?
Yeah, I won't need to touch it again.
These didn't have any kind of heating, did they? Or not?
Not originally, no. This one has had a heater fitted at some point in time.
Electric one, or is it?
No, it was actually tapped into the water
Coolers,
supply.
yeah.
Because you can see there's two holes in the firewall where the pipes came through to the heater. But when I got the car, there was no heater in it, so
I've
I
noticed
just...
the windscreens actually can be opened a little bit, can't it?
It can be, yes.
Yeah.
And I've only ever done it once. And after getting a face full of flies, wasps and bees, need to say I never did it again.
So, I guess back in the day, if it was winter, you just got wrapped up.
Well, what you used to get was hot water bottles,
Yeah.
hot ones, and they used to put them in the back. That's why you find in the limousines, the back was always cloth, because it wasn't as cold to sit on as leather. I mean, it was up to you, you could have what you wanted, you were the customer.
God, can you imagine what it must have felt like going in and driving one of these 90 years ago?
Well, one of these 90 years ago, you could have bought 4 houses for the price one of these cost.
Yeah.
So it just shows you how much house prices have gone up. Because now it'll cost you 400,000 just to buy one house.
Looking down that long bonnet to a lady.
Aye, she's a lovely sight.
I've yet to experience that yet in my car, really. It's just sitting in. We're not on the road yet, but we will be soon.
Now you get no rush. I mean, you don't really want to be taken up this time of the year anyway, once the cold, wet weather starts. That's why I like with this to, it's dry. I'd like to keep it dry if I can.
Doesn't good to bring them out though, doesn't it? Every now
Oh yeah, I run them up and down the drive. You see, look, don't need to change gear at all, it's just handling it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not a lot of gear changing needed at all, is there?
No.
In fact, I don't think you've changed gear yet the whole time we've been out, apart from setting up.
Once we came round the corner, once we get going, the engine's up to temperature now. 60 degrees, 65, 60. She normally runs out at 60, 65 degrees. A bit warmer if it's a sunny day. The only thing you've got to be careful of is if you get stuck in traffic and we're just ticking over, you need to keep your eye on the temperature then. Can you feel the way it's pulling there? I'm just putting my foot down, no gear changes.
I'm actually quite surprised how well it's riding on a fairly rough country road, considering the size of the wheels. Obviously back then, there's not a huge amount of give in the tyres.
No.
The suspension is basically old kart spring, leaf spring style, isn't it?
Leaf springs all around, yeah.
But it rides really nicely, to be honest.
Let me see, I won't bother changing down here. I'll just come round the corner and then
Just pulls away, yeah. Smooth as you like.
Yeah. Take it a bit steady when we get down here. A few little bumps.
Notice they sharp got out the way.
Yeah.
All warmed up now.
That's it.
John's just showing me here, if you take the carpets out the front, there's actually a little secret hatch which allows you to get in to the gearbox. Look at that.
And look what the floor's made out of. It's wood.
Plywood.
All made out of wood. And that's access
So
to the
that's good for
gearbox.
servicing the gearbox, isn't it? And all your linkages.
Gearbox level. And there's your mechanical servo for your brakes. So that's how you access it all.
Wow. That saves messing about, doesn't it? If you can get to the top.
There.
So underneath the back seat we've got this hatch. Ah,
There you
there's the
go.
battery.
And there's the battery.
Right.
Obviously not the original battery.
No.
And that's how you grease your prop shaft up.
Ah, you can get straight to the prop.
And then not only that, you can get the top of the diff by taking the floor out the boot. Because once again, it's all wood. So it's all done in marine ply.
Still got a little hooper.
Yep.
Little thing
That's the body number for it. I think it's, was it 7990? That's the body number.
Look at that.
And it's unfortunately the clock's not right.
We'll forgive it for that.
Because if you want the clock to work, what you've got to do is wind it up.
Oh, it's a windy clock.
There you go. Wind it up like that. And it's supposed to be a 7-day wind. But I never wind it right up. And then to adjust it, you pull down and turn.
Nice.
And that's how you adjust the time of the clock. So what time is it? There we go. And if you listen, you'll be able to hear it ticking. Because it's clockwork. There we go.
Oh, I can hear it.
There you go. You can hear it ticking.
So what did you say this was here?
This is your starting choke,
Yes.
which you turn to start the engine. So you start the
Right.
engine, that's full choke on.
Yeah.
And once the engine's started, you take the choke off. So to make the dashboard look even, Hooper decided to put another one at this side. But you can't turn it, but what you do is you pull it,
What?
and it is an ashtray. Turn and take out. And there's your ashtray,
Wow.
right next to your cigarette lighter.
A cigarette lighter as well.
Oh yeah, well, cigar lighter actually.
Cigar.
Cigar lighter,
Yeah.
right? Which should pop out at any minute.
It never works.
And it's trying.
I know it's coming.
I'm going to say it's on because I am. There
Oh,
you go.
there you go.
There you go. And that's it. So there just slides in, you turn it to the position that it slides in like that. And that's the, as regards the radio, it is not the original radio.
No.
I don't know what happened to the original radio.
I just wanted to say, John, thanks very much for the ride out on a lovely tour around your 2025. It was amazing, really. I've learned so much just by listening to you talk.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
And I'm sure the people watching the YouTube video will really appreciate your knowledge on that car, because, I mean, I just can't believe what I've learnt today.
Well, when you meet a few more owners with pre-war cars, you'll learn a lot more. So
Yeah, we'll have to.
not too distant future.
Yeah, we'll have to get something organised, because I
Yeah.
found it so interesting. It was amazing. So thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Well, there we go then. I really hope you enjoyed that detailed look around John's beautiful Rolls-Royce 2025. I certainly did, and I enjoyed making the video. And thanks once again to John for letting me have a look around his garage and a ride out in that fantastic car. Still can't believe it, and I'm still buzzing about it and thinking a lot about that amazing car and all those secrets that were hidden around the car, the toolkits and all the things that were really, really interesting to see. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe. That would be fantastic. And I'll be bringing you something else from John's garage very soon, because we need to cover that beautiful Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud as well, don't we? That's definitely one that needs some airtime on Life on Cars. So stay safe, drive carefully, and I'll see you all very soon with something else on Life on Cars. Bye bye now. Bye bye.